Hi, I'm Mark Mazzaferro, and it's time for another episode of Waterworks. And with us, as always on Waterworks, is the Utilities Director for the City of Vacaville, Curtis Paxton. Curtis, how are you today?
Mark, I'm doing well. And I remembered your name this time.
I appreciate that. My mom will be glad to hear that. So tell us where we're at, Curtis. We're kind of at the plant today, aren't we?
We are at the Easterly Wastewater Treatment Plant, which is the treatment plant for all the wastewater generated in Vacaville and the town of Elmira.
Excellent. Now, a few years ago, we kind of went through this whole process to create the building that we're at right now, that we're standing on. We had to add a third level of treatment, also known as tertiary treatment. Thank you very much.
Well done, Mark.
I've been practicing. But anyway, that cost us a lot of money. It wasn't something we wanted to do, but we had to do it. So in order to kind of show folks what it is and where we're at, I thought it'd be a good idea to come out here today.
We're glad to have you and welcome the opportunity to tell you more about it.
Excellent. But beyond that, we have someone who knows more about this project than probably either one of us together, certainly more than I know about it. Why don't you introduce our guest?
Our expert today is Justen Cole, who is the Assistant Director of Utilities.
Wow, Justen Cole, expert. Justen, come on in. Justen, welcome to Waterworks.
It's good to be here, Mark.
Yeah, good. Listen, so how long have you been with the city, Justen?
Going on 13 years now.
13 years. Well, that's almost how long I've been here. What a coincidence. And I just learned your name the other day. What can I say? I don't spend a lot of time out here. So you were pretty involved with this whole process, weren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was. I'm going to be honest, it was a little bit painful, but we made it through all right. And so why don't you tell us about what this plant is and what it does?
So what we did over the last decade, in essence, is designed a denitrification and a tertiary treatment facility to meet the state board requirements of our effluent limits.
So denitrification, I'm going to guess that means we take something out of the water?
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen out of the wastewater. Okay, and is that the tertiary level of treatment? Is that what we're talking about?
No, that actually is done in our aeration basins, which we had to modify and expand to accommodate the future demands of growth within the city and the permit requirements.
So we did two things then. We did denitrification and added a third level of treatment here at the plant.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. And this facility we're standing on here, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? I mean, it's an engineering marvel. I mean, what do I know about engineering? But just to look, it's like there's a lot going on here, isn't there?
Yes, we're quite proud of our tertiary building out here. Actually, we're quite proud of the entire project.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, this is pretty much our single largest treatment process on the plant, and pretty much one of the most important in meeting our Title 22 disinfection requirements.
Man, I'm glad I don't work out here. There's a lot of big words, folks. So tell us what happens here. If it's possible to explain and I don't want to say layman's terms, but as simply as you can, what's going on at the third level of treatment, or if you need to go through all three.
The third level of treatment, what you see behind you is pretty much just water filtering through sand and anthracite, and they go through an under-drain system, and then out to the Old Alamo Creek.
And going through this sand and anthracite, that removes what? Or does it remove something? It must remove something, I guess. Huh?
It removes the solids within the wastewater.
Okay. So whatever is left after the first two levels of treatment, this gets rid of the third level of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that technical term, stuff.
We have another term for it.
Well, okay. Well, is that one we can say on TV?
No.
Oh, I didn't think so. All right. So it seems simple enough, but this was an expensive endeavor for the city, wasn't it?
This was. It's one of the most expensive projects in the city of Vacaville's history, and actually sand treatment is a very simple, tried and true process.
So as simple as it was, it's still, I mean, the entire project cost a little under $150 million, right?
Correct. That was the entire tertiary project, which was 4 phases, which is our denitrification phase, the filtration phase, a laboratory construction, and then what we call the completion project, which is a miscellaneous tying everything together at the end.
Okay, now you mentioned that we empty this into Alamo Creek, which is what we did before, right?
Correct.
But now we have this third level of treatment, and that's really kind of why we ended up having to do this, because of where we empty the effluent, the water that's treated. That's part of the reason.
Correct. We're a tributary to the Delta, which is a major drinking water source for the state of California.
Yeah, I remember when we went through this whole process. It was I don't want to say it was complicated, but when you talk about, well, they're taking samples downstream, how they determined that it was our wastewater that was causing this impact, you got me, but we ended up having to do it. All right, so let's get Curtis back in here. Curtis, he mentioned the permit, and we're getting ready to go through the permitting process again now, aren't we?
We are. The State Water Resources Control Board, or the Regional Water Quality Control Board, will be considering the approval of our draft new permit in early part of June.
And tell us about that process, how that works.
Our staff from Utilities Department has been working closely with staff from the Regional Water Quality Control Board, and it looks like the new permit coming up this year will be favorable for us. So it won't have anything big like this last one did that required construction of these facilities. So we're very happy about that.
So how often does the permit come up? Is it every 10 years, 5 years?
Typically every 5 years.
Okay. All right. So it looks good for this time around. Excellent. And we kind of jokingly talked about it before we got started, but potentially, depending on what they find, we might at some point have to add another level of treatment. Is that true?
Down the road, that is potential. As scientists are able to measure contaminants at a lower and lower level, restrictions typically get more intensive on both the water side and the wastewater side. But hopefully that won't happen for quite a while with us here.
All right. So hopefully the whole permitting process is pretty seamless, and we won't really hear much about it in the future, will we?
At least this go around, we're confident that it will go smoothly.
Do we take that to the council at some point? Do they have any kind of say in this, or do we just do a report? Or
we'll report to the council once we get the new permit. The Regional Water Quality Control Board is a board, an appointed board by the governor, and they will consider it, I believe, at their meeting of June 6th and June 7th.
Excellent. Right. I mean, even I got the notice from them, so that's good to hear. So it's good to know that at this point our plant is operating pretty efficiently and doing a pretty good job then.
It's doing a great job. We've got a great group of people out here running the plant, maintaining the plant, people in the lab. In fact, we had the California Water Environment Association Laboratory Analyst of the Year, Curtis Westbrook, so we're very pleased about that. This plant, as I know you reported for us back a few months ago, got the Plant of the Year for the Redwood Empire section of the California Water Environment Association, so we're very proud of that.
Well, sure, you have a lot of good people working here at the plant, from the lab to the employees running all the facilities, even Justen over here.
You are correct.
So listen, Justen, what's your future like here? How are you feeling about what's going on here at the plant and what's going on in the city?
I feel very good. Coming out of a period of long construction where the analogy has been kind of like, remodeling or rebuilding your engine as you're driving down the highway. And we've kind of gone over that hurdle, and now we're kind of in the period of optimization and kind of enjoying the plant that was constructed.
Good deal. Well, listen, guys, thank you very much for, one last comment, Curtis? Sure.
One thing that the addition of the tertiary process, third level process for you, Mark, has been the water that's produced now from the plant is able to be distributed as recycled water. So we are currently undergoing a recycled water master plan, identifying properties and areas, primarily for irrigation, around us that we can use this water on. So we're very happy about that.
Well, and that's a biggie. That's one that, everybody says, the drought is over, et cetera, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't do things to conserve water or reuse the recycled water in any way we can, right?
You are correct. Regardless of whether currently we're out of drought, we know the drought will return. And the efficient use of water is always a primary thing we should be concerned with.
Excellent, good deal. All right, anything else going on in the utilities department you'd like to share with us, Curtis?
No, we're just having a great time out here at Utilities, and once again, we don't want anybody to have to worry about their water or their wastewater, but we appreciate people knowing about what we do.
Excellent. It's important. Folks should know. I mean, we've said it before. We'll say it in the future. We take some things for granted, and one is, turning on the water and having it come out, and the other one is hitting the handle and having it go away. So you touch more lives. You and Justen touch more lives than anybody in the city, I think. That's a fair statement, right?
Absolutely.
Good deal. Well, listen, thank you, Curtis. Thank you, Justen. And thank you all for watching this episode of Waterworks. We'll see you next time.